The question is asked, why might a private citizen want body armor? Well, I think I can answer that. I carried a badge for 43 years, and currently I'm on the advisory board for International Law Enforcement Educators and Trainers Association and the advisory board for the Armed Citizens Legal Defense Network. I was an armed citizen before they pinned the badge on me, and I've been one since I gave it back. And there is strong rationale for both, because cop and armed citizen arm and armor themselves for protection against the exact same violent criminals. I was an early adopter of the second chance body armor when it first came out in the very early 70s. And I don't think I've ever appeared in uniform without that vest on under the shirt. For the armed citizen, for the most part, in most people's lives, that's not a necessity. They're not having to ride to the sound of the guns, which literally is the police officer's job. The police are society's gunfighters. For the private citizen, I see it much like fire insurance. I'm hoping, my house will never catch fire. Those are people I've talked to whose houses are burned down were damn glad they had fire insurance. Those of us who haven't had a fire yet, did the insurance company rip us off? No, because what we had was peace of mind. That's why, from the beginning, I've kept one of these under the bed on my side and another on the other side for my wife. For the exact same reason that so many of us, when we go to bed at night, will keep a loaded firearm readily accessible. If someone breaks down that door with violent intent to harm us, we want to immediately be able to protect ourselves, and that's why we have ready access to defensive firearms. Why the body armor? Same exact reason. If you're going to be facing armed people with deadly weapons, the gunfire goes both ways. Wear it around all the time? Most people don't. But I'll tell you, there are some high-risk professions where they do. I can think of one jewelry courier whose vest, second chance vest, saved his life. When that armed robber's approach was simply, gee, I'll shoot him in the chest, and then I'll take the valise full of diamonds off his person. Worked out a whole lot better for the courier than it did for the armed robber. You will find in certain situations where overnight you or someone you love may become a stalking victim. Then it starts making sense to wear the thing religiously, just like a cop who was on duty. Certain other high-risk professions, taxi drivers, Uber and Lyft drivers, jewelers and high-risk retailers. So we've got the home defense element, we've got the occasional threat element. Let's look at some other things. I don't wear a vest every time I go to the range, but if it was amateur night at the gun club and I was a volunteer range officer, you bet I'd be wearing it. There are multiple body armor saves that were instructors inadvertently shot by their own students. We have also, all of us in the gun world recommend that for part of our practice be dry fire, that is, aiming and working the trigger of the unloaded gun. We generally do that in the home, and the rule is always have it pointed in a safe direction. That's something that could absorb a projectile just in case we've made a mistake and there's a live round in the gun. Well, what the hell is there in your house that was designed to stop bullets? If you have one of these, this is your dry fire target, and it's usually my dry fire target. If the gun went off in the house and your mother-in-law said, "Oh my God, why did you fire a gun in your own house?" You can probably honestly answer, "I always wondered if that thing would stop a bullet." The bottom line is emergency rescue equipment has to be readily available, and that's why I strongly suggest that you as an armed citizen invest in some. It'll cost you about what you were thinking of paying for the next gun you were going to buy. A vest like this, the Warbird soft body armor, would begin at about the price of a stock Glock pistol. Price is going to go up if you want something that will defeat rifle fire, and that's going to be heavy plate armor, which you can get from the Warbird company too. The reason I prefer the Warbird brand is it comes to you from what I consider the first family of body armor. The Davis family went back to Richard Davis, now 80 years old as I speak to you, who back in the day won a gunfight against armed robbers, decided there had to be better stuff to stop bullets with than your own body, and created the first of the soft body armors. His Second Chance brand became singularly the most popular. When he retired, his son, Matt Davis, started the Armor Express Company, which had hundreds more saves. And Matt, now the second generation of the Davis family, has brought you the third generation of Davis-branded body armor, the Warbird. The institutional history that goes into this, not just how to make it stop bullets, but how to make a vest that can be comfortably worn at all times. I stand here today on a relatively warm spring day, perfectly comfortable, wearing the Warbird armor. Now, little tricks to wear it, particularly if you're going to be wearing it in hotter weather. Obviously, you want a t-shirt on under it, and if it's going to be really hot weather, get a high-tech shirt that, called colloquially the cool shirt, that you can find in any athletic store that caters to runners and such. I am a very satisfied customer, having survived a car crash with mine that the doctor said I would have died of flail chest if I hadn't been wearing it. Didn't get a cool war story, but I'm still a very satisfied customer of the Davis family. And I hope you'll consider the peace of mind that it will give you as it has given me for many decades.